Hi, my name is Mitra. I'm a servant. I serve through teaching, coaching, consulting, or any other way that I can find to share what I know with those who want to know. And this Lights On podcast is one of those ways. It was created with consciousness and mindful living in heart. So join us as we travel through many roads of learning and transformation together. And if you enjoy our podcast, please give us feedback by rating us 5-star and share us with others if you think they may benefit from it. On behalf of my team, I thank you for your presence. This episode is about a practice in mindfulness world called framing. It is used for the times that we notice our pattern of an unhealthy behavior, something that we normally do. Of course, the suggestion and the information is more of a garden variety kind of behavior. We're not talking about medically difficult behaviors that need medical attention. This is something that I normally do, and I know that it's something that it's not really supporting me and serving me. The example of the question that arose in this class was that somebody that gets worried about certain things, something like, did I turn off the oven? Did I do this and that? And they get worried about it. And it's a pattern that they had repeatedly. And the answer that I've given is the answer to a question like that. So I hope that it serves you, and let's take a listen together.
First of all, any obsessive behavior is the result of obsessive thinking. Behavior doesn't just, so we start thinking gives us an emotion or goes straight to a behavior, and the emotion brings a behavior, right? So I'm sitting here thinking, Chris doesn't like me, right? I feel uncomfortable. I feel fearful. I feel nervous. And then what I'll do, I either attack or defend or like stay in a state of fear, is all of this was because of a thought that was born and I bought into it. So just know that the source of all of these, that's why I'm talking about thinking rather than behavior. All important, but remember the behavior was the child of a thought and an emotion. So that always is the case. But let's just be very practical. I cannot stop checking the oven, right? What I would do in this very particular case is that I will raise my game in checking. Meaning, say I'm leaving the home, and that's my obsessive behavior. This is called framing, mindful framing, that you put a frame around a certain behavior that you repeat all the time and it really bothers you. Either because you overdo it or because you underdo it. I had a habit of, when I used to go to my office, always leaving something in my car when I got to my office. And I was just like, oh, and I had to walk back, go to the parking and get it. So I put a frame around that. And I invite you to put a frame around, say, checking whether the stove or oven is on. Okay. What you do is now you pay extra attention. What is framing? Why do I put a picture and put a frame around it? I'm saying to myself or to other people, this is an important person or event of my life. That's what we do when we put a frame around something, right? I put my children's photo here and I'm saying people understand my children are more important than anybody else in my life. We put this frame around this and we give it importance, right? Then what I do is I pay extra attention to it, because if something is important or more important than other things, then they deserve extra attention. Before I leave, I stand there, take a deep breath. I check and double check that the oven is off. this is where actually speaking out loud might be helpful. I say to myself, let me see, I have checked the oven. Oven is off. I can see it's off. If you need to, in a very extreme cases, I ask you to take a photo of it. It's fascinating what mind does to us. Take a photo of it, okay? And you go to your car or you go outside and walking, and mind says, I think this time really, I don't remember you turning it off. In fact, I recall you did not take it. That's what it does. That's how it seduces you. And you say, thank you for your input and opinion. I've taken care of it. And it comes back and say, I've taken care of it. And you doubt it because it comes back and tells you 20 times. And now you have a point of reference. And you check it and you see, nope, this is the photo. I took it this morning. The date is there. It was exactly before I left. All is well. And then it settles down. Whoever's question it was. And I did that with remembering to take things out. I would stop, take my time, take a breath and say, what did I bring? Oh, I wanted to bring this and I brought the tripod. I brought this, I brought that. I would say it out loud, itemize it, and then I bring it with me. And it got solved within a week. I no longer did that. So 1 was the recognition of the problem. 2 was the framing and giving the importance to the problem. And 3 was verifying that you have taken care of the problem. And then you will see all of a sudden leaving the oven on is not a problem anymore. But please know that that behavior was not an independent behavior. That behavior comes from the fact that your relationship with your mind is quite not the way it should be.
Hope this episode answered the question or two for you, or provoked and inspired questions in you. I'm so grateful you showed up and listened up. Until the next time, be well and stay curious.